Hey everyone, welcome to PC Perspective. Today we're going to take a look at a new case from Corsair. This is the Carbide Series Air 240, which for anybody that knows anything about Corsair cases will look awfully familiar. It is basically modeled after the Corsair Air 540, a very similar two-section design, one section for your motherboard and components, one for storage and power supplies. But obviously this is a smaller design. We're looking at Micro-ATX and Mini-ITX support only. Fairly low cost, under $100, available in white and black. Let's take a look inside. First, we'll start with a look at the outside of the case. You can see here at the front, you can clearly see our two different compartments, our two different delineations inside the system. You'll be able to see that more when we take off the panels. On the front, you've got your power reset, you've got your audio connections, and a pair of USB 3.0 front panel connections. This Corsair logo actually right here rotates depending on the orientation of the case. We'll talk about that in a second as well. Anybody familiar with the Corsair Air 540 will instantly recognize the design and styling of this as well. One of the cool features of this case is that it has a nearly full-size window on this side right here. You can see all the components inside that way. Pretty cool. If you've got any lights or like this GeForce GTX logo actually illuminates, it would shine through, it would be very bright. You'd be able to show off to all your friends and family. Walk around to the back here, and here's where you can see kind of the two-chamber outlook more directly. You've got your motherboard and graphics card components right here. We've got support for both Micro-ATX and Mini-ITX motherboards in here. If your Micro-ATX board supports SLI, it would be able to, or Crossfire, support 2 GPUs in there. On this side, you've got a full-size power supply. You can see we've got a Corsair HX 1050, so a huge 1050 watt power supply in here. And this is where you actually will store your 3.5-inch standard size hard drives, which we'll show you that in a second as well. Along the back of the case, you will find just the other side panel door, and then this is a magnetic removable air filter, which is kind of nice. Depending on orientation, again, you can mount heat sinks or fans to the inside of this, although right here we have our power supply fan acting as, well, that's where its intake is coming from, so the filter is useful in that instance as well. Corsair actually ships this. You can see if you look at the bottom, these 4 rubber feet, with the 4 rubber feet not attached to anything, right? So you get to choose where you want to put them, and you can see if you look real closely at the sides here, there's actually sections for you to put the feet. If you wanted to have the orientation this way, you could do that, or you could do it on this side, or you could even, if you want, put it on the window side down. Obviously that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But let's take off the side panels and we'll kind of demonstrate why they have the different orientation options. Let's start with our windowed side panel here. And you get a look at all of the components that we have installed into the Air 240. We have a Micro-ATX motherboard, as well as our Ivy Bridge, or maybe it's a Haswell processor with a Corsair H80 installed on it. We have a GeForce GTX 780 graphics card. Plenty of space in here to work, and you can easily tell just by looking at it how clean it is on the inside. That's another one of the benefits, besides improved airflow through the system, is clean, no cable clutter with the design, right? You've got 2 120 millimeter fans up front, 120 millimeter fan up top pre-installed. You could install a 240 millimeter radiator on the front. If you're using a Mini-ITX motherboard, where everything is raised up just a little bit, you'd be able to install a 240 millimeter radiator on the bottom as well. And even though it's not kind of officially supported, we're able to get the H80 installed in this location with a double thickness radiator, thanks to the way that the top part here actually lets you, it has rails instead of specific holes for fans and insulation, so you can be a little bit more flexible about where you actually install the hardware. Now, if we go around to the back here, we'll go ahead and show you the inside of the other compartment as well. And once we take that off, you'll see our full-size power supply. You will see our hard drive cage, and then you'll see our SSD drive cage, which is actually pretty cool. There's plenty of grommets here on the inside for your cables to feed through, your data cables, your power cables. And again, if you even want to leave it a little bit cluttered like we did here, it doesn't affect anything, right? Because nobody gets to see this part of it, and it doesn't affect the airflow for your very important CPU and GPU components on the other side. And now what we'll go ahead and do is we'll take off the top panel right here, and you'll see that this is easily removable, just slides off 2 thumb screws. This can be vacuumed off as well for air filtration that way. And then if you look at the top, you'll see that we have, this is our SSD drive cage. So if you look at it, it's toolless drive cages for 2.5-inch hard drives or SSDs. It was really nice setup there. This is the pre-installed fan. This is the H80 we added. Again, support for a lot of fans and cooling up top as well. To access the 3.5-inch hard drive, all you have to do is remove this plate here. All right. And you've got your toolless drive bays for your hard drives as well. So you've got support for 3 3.5-inch drives, 3 2.5-inch drives, although you could put 2.5-inch drives on these trays as well if you were really going crazy that way. One cool thing that they've done for the installation is they have done like a toolless expansion card retention mechanism here. So right, you got your video card, you get it installed, and you just kind of snap it back in place. They have space for screws there if you kind of want to double up on security, but you don't necessarily have to. Worth pointing out again is that every panel of this, including the front panel, but it has clips, the back panel comes off just by removing a couple of thumb screws. You can see the feet that we have installed on the bottom there. And we'll show you that. Again, you can take this off and vacuum it and clean it out pretty easily that way. And at the bottom, you can see where you have room for your 240 millimeter radiator if you are using a Mini-ITX platform instead of a Micro-ATX platform. Working inside this case was really easy. Like you can see, because you can remove all of the panels, accessing components on this side or on the back side or on the bottom or on the top is super easy, and it makes it much better in my mind than almost any Mini-ITX or Mini-ITX case we've ever worked in. Right? It's a little bit of advantage. It does support Micro-ATX boards, so you get more working room. I wouldn't even hesitate to offer this up or recommend it for kind of a first-time builder, if you will, which is something we don't usually say about cases this small. So the Corsair Carbide Series Air 240 is really a pretty nice case. It's not as small as some of the other Mini-ITX designs out there that you'll see. Obviously, it does have support for Micro-ATX motherboards. That gives you more flexibility in terms of component choice. There are X79 motherboards and probably will be X99 motherboards available in the Micro-ATX form factor, so you'd be able to put those components in here. You have support for really large graphics cards, including even the AMD Radeon R9 295 X2. It's easier to work in also because it's bigger, right? You've got the 2 compartments, which kind of keep things neat and clean. Having the power supply and the storage completely separated is both beneficial for airflow and cooling, as well as just for looks. I really like the ability to kind of rotate it into a couple of different positions if you want the window facing up or something different like that. You have the option to do that with the feet that come not pre-installed. And for 99 bucks for the white version or $89 for the black version, you're not really going to break the bank in there either. It is available, I think, beginning in early September. Make sure you check out PCPer.com for the rest of our pictures and review. I'm Ryan Shrout. Thanks for watching.